Hey everybody, hello. I'm just going to hang out for a little bit here while we wait for people to roll in. I just want to say hello. And I hope everyone's having a good day today, huh? Let's see here. If anyone's popping into the chat, I would love to hear what y'all are working on. Looks like we currently have only a couple people popping in. We're just gonna wait. Sometimes it takes a little while for people to roll in, you know what I mean? We're just gonna see what we can do. If anyone's in the chat though, I'd love to hear about what you're working on today. You guys got any code you're jamming on? Any cool projects? Any I don't know, whatever. Data, it doesn't have to be database related, it could be whatever. But I'm just kind of curious what y'all are jamming on. Yeah, whatever. All right. We'll stall for time here for a little bit while we're people roll in, but otherwise maybe I'll just get started. We can just let people kind of jump in as things get going here. You know, who knows? Just say hello and chat if you're out there. You can lurk too. That's fine. We're fine with lurkers here. You can just hang out. We're just gonna talk about code a little bit. We're gonna go over some big data stuff, how to do some data analysis on distributed systems. That sound fun? I'm biased, obviously, but I think it's kind of fun. I'll show you some of the work I've been working on too, which would be kind of fun. I don't know, and maybe we'll keep some time open at the end for questions if anyone has any. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't even have to be about code. I don't know, whatever. Careers, what you're working on, what should I get for lunch today? We could do some relationship questions. How do I connect with my kids? Let's talk about it. I don't know. Not that I'm qualified, but I'd love to just chat about it. Okay, I don't know. We'll see. Not too many people. We got a couple people in there. Everyone, thanks for popping in now. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Actually, I'm just going to check online, make sure everything's streaming okay. We're trying out going onto the streaming on Twitter today, which I've never done before, and I'm hoping it works well. I have no idea. Let's see here. Banjara. Hi. Banjara, I am doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. Let's see here. Just saying, how's it going? It's going so good. Thanks for hanging out with us. Just glad you're here to enjoy the day, I guess, huh? How am I doing? Yeah, there we go. That's that comment we didn't need to show. Okay. Whatever. Let's just get started here today. Folks, I am just so happy to be here. Tickled pink. What day is today? It's Tuesday. Everyone loves Tuesdays, right? Do people like Tuesdays? No one likes Tuesdays. No one likes Tuesdays. And let's see here. I'm going to get this. Oops. I'm going to start this little, what's the word? PowerPoint presentation, and we can go from there. Play from start. Everyone, hang on a sec here. Computers are very hard. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see here. How do I... Great. Trying to remember how to window this page, and I don't remember how to do that on here. Let's see. That's right. Okay, great. Welcome everybody. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, share screen. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And there we go. Can we do, is this a thing we could do? That looks weird to me. Does that look weird to anyone else, or am I just losing my mind here? There we go. Okay, that looks like it's working better. Okay, today we're going to be talking about just getting started, guide. I'm curious, is anyone, if anyone watching in the chat could let me know what their familiarity with SingleStore is. This talk today is going to be mostly just an introduction, what it is, why you should use it, and we're going to do just a brief demo, doing some data analysis. We're going to import over 20 million rows of e-commerce data, and then we're going to do some data analysis on it. And then we'll have links at the end if you want to try it yourself, whatever. But we can answer questions about distributed databases, databases in general, SQL, SingleStore, whatever's on your mind. We would love to chat about it. But let's talk about it. So first of all, my name is Joe Karlsson, and I'm a software engineer and developer advocate, and I work here at SingleStore. If you want to follow along or you like hanging out with me at all, best place to do that is hanging out with me on Twitter. Also, if you want to connect on LinkedIn, that's great too. I also make goofy videos on TikTok, so that's your thing too. Love to see you there as well. If you ever see a QR code in the corner, if there's a link on the page, that QR code will take you straight to that page. I think this one takes you to the links of all my social pages, whatever. If you want to hang out there, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But follow me on Twitter if you want. All right, we got this Chaza. I can't wait for you to see it too. I can't wait for me to see this. I don't know. This is a win-win for both of us here, I think. Okay, so today we're going to be giving an introduction to data-intensive applications. What are they? Why it's the future? Whatever. Then we're going to do a live demo. Cross your fingers, nothing goes wrong. We're going to have to make a human sacrifice to the live demo gods here to make sure things are going smoothly here today. And then we'll wrap up with some Q&A. If you don't have any questions, that's fine too. You can always reach out to me later on online. There's lots of ways to do that. So anyway, let's get started. Intro to data-intensive applications. I'll be like checking in on chat too. So feel free to just ask questions. I'll be answering questions kind of all day long too. So, okay. Also, there's no dumb questions. Just ask whatever you want. We live in a world of data-intensive applications. I think if you're not building applications and thinking about how your data is going to scale massively, you're probably missing out on a massive opportunity. I think the way we're using data and the way that we're going to continue to use data is massively changing and growing exponentially, right? There's no secret, right? We all know this, that we're collecting and utilizing and analyzing more data than ever before. And I think the thing is that we're struggling with is understanding what that looks like, is like the path forward for that, right? Like trying to scale up these old database tech for these new data demands that we're having on our applications. It's a fact of life. We know this, right? It's not a secret. So what is a data-intensive application though? It's a application or program that has a massive data size, right? We're talking hundreds of terabytes to petabytes of data, which I think a petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. Is zettabyte the next one? That feels right, but I don't know if that's right. And also you're handling mass amounts of data in real time, right? Data intensive applications also mean real-time data. So that means, like, for example, if you're some sort of financial institution or a bank and you want to do real-time fraud detection on all the transactions happening in your account, right? That means you have to be analyzing every single transaction that's happening in real time and running some sort of transformation or model on it to see if detect if it's fraud, right? That'd be an example of something that's handling a massive amount of ingestion and then doing right. And then but the next one, low latency, right? We need to detect in a matter of like milliseconds if fraud has been detected on the system or not. And if you're a large like financial institution, you're probably going to be handling a decent size of data in real time, right? And needing to do that real time detection. That is crazy, right? You may have some really complex data analysis. You're doing that with joins. I think a really common thing we're seeing today is doing data analysis on or like machine learning, right? We're doing AI machine learning type of analysis on your data in real time. I think that fraud detection is a really clear one too. But there's other things too, right? Like, I don't know, chat. Give me an example of something that's another real time data intensive application. And then concurrency, right? Especially if you're any application that has a decent amount of traffic, is dealing with a massive amount of concurrent users and a bunch of different things happening in real time. I think that ties into the ingestion too, right? You need to be able to handle massive amounts of data coming from multiple different directions and then doing complex queries on that data in real time. Let's see here. We've got some questions here. I'm just going to take some questions. Let's see here. Looking forward to applying to my Analyze project. Can't wait to the speed of SingleStore. Yeah, we'll be going into that today. You'll be able to see in real time how the ingestion and data analysis works in real time. I'm actually working on some perf tests for SingleStore. If you're curious and want to do that too, I'd love some feedback on that too. But some of those work should be dropping soon. Hopefully, they do a video, maybe a live stream. We'll see. Let's see if that works. How do we come up with this idea? Banjara, I don't know what idea you're talking about. You want data, just a data-intensive application, SingleStore? I didn't invent SingleStore. I'm just a guy talking about it. I don't know. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. I don't know what idea you're talking about. I'd love to answer that question. All right, let's get back into the good stuff here. All right, here we go. Well, I'm biased here, but SingleStore is the single database for data-intensive applications. The only thing I want you to take away from this talk today is this: is like, if you're dealing with a data or an application that's handling with tons of data, you should be considering SingleStore, hands down, easily. It handles more data types than any other database, and it handles them better and faster than anyone else, and it scales better, more cheaply. Right? Sales pitch over. Just keep going here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Universal storage. We're going to speed through this too. I do think it's important too, but we're multi-model. So that means we support things like geospatial, time series, full text search, relational queries, key value stores, which I'm working on right now, document stores. So any type of data model you're working with, we work with and make it easier to work with. We're separating storage from compute, which means that you can have unlimited storage, which means that you can run data analysis on a separate CPUs and servers than you do from your storage, which is really nice, especially as like data demands are growing. Separating out your storage from your ability to compute on that is incredibly important for handling data-intensive applications. And bottom line, as you're going to see here today, we're just faster and we're just faster than other databases, and we scale easier. I don't know about you. I think the future of databases is going to be, right? I'm an application developer, and the only thing I care about really is I just want to save my data and I want to get it back quickly. That's it, right? I just want to I don't have to worry about sharding and scaling and all that stuff. And like any good database, you totally can get into the nuts and bolts and figure that on your own. But by default, especially with our managed services, hands down, the easiest way to do that is just spinning up a cluster in the cloud and running some data analysis on it, right? But we just want to get it back quickly. And I don't want to spend too much money either. That's also useful too. Okay, great. Let's keep going here. I can't remember what's the next slide here. We'll skip this. All right, should we get to the demo? Should we, I do like to live data dangerously, and I hope all of you do too. You know, I usually, honestly, for live demos like this, I try to have a video backup. I actually don't think I need that today, which is actually really nice. Most of the time when I do live demos, I'm like, I can't remember the steps. Trying to moderate chat, talk with everyone, and do technical work at the same time is really hard. But for you, dear audience, we're going to do this today, okay? All right. Let's see here. Do I have another slide here? I can't remember what I'm... Oh, yeah, great. Imagination. I want you guys to imagine with me, if you will, that you are a software engineer, application developer working on an e-commerce company. Specifically, you are a engineer who is working at a cosmetics company. We're selling perfumes and makeups and whatever, right? But our web team has been collecting web events on our website for the last, I think, 3 months is the data we have. And they've given it to us in a giant CSV file, right? So every click, every cart event, every sale that's ever happened, we're collecting that information in a massive CSV spreadsheet. Whew, right? That's a lot of data. That's a lot of data we're playing with. But your boss has said, hey, here's the data. Go make sense of it. What are you going to do? Right? Well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be loading in our CSV data from an AWS S3 bucket into SingleStore. And then we're going to be running some data analysis on it. Again, this is 20 million rows of user data we're going to be importing into our database. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm getting a phone call from a coworker. Great. Okay. Just going to check here. Might have a... Okay. Let's see here. Looks like... Am I not live on... let's see here. Looks like I'm not going live on LinkedIn. Why is that, huh? Let's see here, chat. Please, Weird. It looks like I'm only streaming on YouTube. What's happening? Waiting for broadcast. Sorry, YouTube. Just trying to troubleshoot this. Interesting. Why is this not going? Oh. Okay. Let's see here. Looks like our API connection for LinkedIn has gone down, but we're going to try this now. Let's see if this works. Why would that happen? Isn't it fun trying to troubleshoot something live on the air? Let's see if we can get it going. Okay. We've got some great people here, which is awesome. So glad to see everybody. Okay. Still not going. Okay. You know what's fun is like trying to get this working in real time and everyone's pinging you, letting you know it's not working on the platform. And then you're trying to troubleshoot it too. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. I don't know why it's not working. I still don't know. Let's see here. Don't know why. No event edition supported. Well, let's see here. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds here, and then we'll see what happens. Hmm. Let's see here. Okay, well, let's see. I'm just gonna post a link to the YouTube, and then we're going to, and then we'll just continue from there. Okay. Don't know why it's not streaming on here. Okay. Well, whatever. I apologize, everybody. We got a couple more people here, which is great. Thanks for coming in, everyone. Appreciate it. I'm going to just wait another second here. I think we're trying to redirect people. So I'm using a thing called Restream, trying to like figure it out. I don't know what's going on with it, but I usually, and like the hard part here too is like if I end the stream, the event ends and then I can't do like you have to recreate it. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this out. We'll see. But for some reason, it's not connecting on LinkedIn. I don't know. It's working this morning. Never know. You just never know what's going to happen. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll hopefully get a couple more people in here. We'll see what happens. But anyways, we're gonna do a quick little recap here. It looks like we have some new people here, about doubled in size here, which is awesome. Yeah, bummed about LinkedIn. Sorry about that, folks. Definitely, LinkedIn's like one of our biggest channels. I want to support everyone there and hope it goes through in the future. I don't know what's going on. Okay, anyway, today we just did a quick little overview of what data-intensive applications are. I might do that again just really quickly for new people joining us. Unless we can just jump into the demo here too. I don't know, we can do whatever. But today we're just gonna be doing a quick overview of what data-intensive applications are. I'm gonna make wild speculations about the future of data. And then we'll do a quick little demo of SingleStore. We're gonna be importing 20 million rows of S3 or from CSV data from an AWS S3 bucket into SingleStore, and then we'll be running some data analysis on that. For people who are new and just joining us here today, what we're going to be doing is I want you to imagine with me, if you will, that you are a software engineer, an application developer working on an application or doing some data analysis at a e-commerce company, and specifically a cosmetic shop. So our project manager has told us they have been collecting user events from our cosmetic e-commerce store for the last 3 months. That means every click event, every add to cart, every drop from cart, every sale, every item has been itemized and collected. We have this massive amount of data. And I'm sure, as you know, right, data is only as useful as like the insights we can pull from them, right? So we have all this data, but it doesn't do anything for us unless we can start figuring out useful insights from it. And that's our job here, right? So we want to get this done quickly. I'm sure, as many of you know, doing analytical queries on that amount of data can take a long time. That's why a lot of times they separate out all the compute analysis from the database, right? They'll replicate it out to a separate analytics server and run these asynchronously because they take so long. The cool part about SingleStore is you can do both relational and analytical transactional work in the same database. You don't have to copy it out, right? That's the reason we can do that is because we're separating out storage from compute, which means that you can have all the massive amount of data, and we have separate servers that are doing the data analysis for you on this data. So it's not going to be a bottleneck for your data. You can still be massively ingesting data as you're analyzing it. By the way, this is the future of data, right? Like having single models, simplifying your data experience and making it faster that's the future, right? Because we don't care, right? As developers, we just want to get this done quickly and easily as possible, which managed service can totally help us with that. Okay, so great here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We got some great people in here. Let's just jump into our demo here. Okay, let's see here. Where did I put that? There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, we got a Chaza has a great comment in here. Said the issue report of the analytics clone of a database. Yeah, company I previously worked with did this. They use Microsoft SQL servers and suffered from lag. Yeah, it's a super common use case, especially with legacy databases. You're going to be dealing with a lot of this lag, and like needing to do these like complex workarounds and data copying and all this stuff. Like it's just a pain in the butt. But if you don't have to do that, that would make our lives so much easier, wouldn't it? No, I agree. I'm sure many of you. I've also encountered this in the wild. It's super. I mean, if you're running like MySQL, Postgres, right? That's how you're doing it right now. Data analysis has to be done separately. It just your database is a bottleneck for this type of work, and you need to start separating it out. But you don't have to do it with SingleStore. Okay, great. So let's share my screen again here, and let's show you what I'm jamming on here. Okay, so what we have here. I was cleaning this up this morning a little bit. I set up a brand new cluster here on SingleStore, and let's do a quick little overview here. It's just our standard free database, which, by the way, if you sign up today, you get $500 in free credits. So no worries, no credit card is required. It's a great way to sign this up or try this out too. I would totally recommend you come in too and try out and see if you can replicate the results of all this. All the code and everything I'm going to be doing here is available. I have videos and walkthroughs and all that stuff too. I have a 6-minute video version of this too, but this version's great. I get to chat with all y'all in the meantime while I'm going through it. But okay, so right now I have a database, just a cosmetic database, but there's nothing in it. There's no data on it. Totally empty. We're going to start from scratch here. But I've set up this new database. Let's see. I might have to. Let's see here. Okay, and I have some data on here too. If you want to follow along, I'm going to post this here too. I have a GitHub repo with all of the code that we're going to be going through in today's demo. I'll just type this in here into chat for all of y'all. So we got all the code that we have here too. If you go down to this, we have a little README, has a link to a blog post I wrote about this. And some videos about that too. But the init.sql, that is the code we're going to be going through today. But what we're going to be doing is creating a new table and then importing the data from S3. So what we're going to do first is create our database. We're already in there. Great. And now let's create a table. So our table is going to be pulling in all that data from our CSV data in AWS S3. So this is a SQL editor. It's an online GUI, and it allows us to do SQL commands. You can still interact with your database, whatever application, third-party tool, whatever you want. SingleStore is MySQL wire compatible. So that means that any driver or tool that is MySQL compatible works with SingleStore out of the box. Which is the cool part about this is like you already know SingleStore. You already got this, right? Like MySQL, if you know SQL, and especially MySQL, the most popular database in the world, you're going to be good here, right? But it allows us to just run SQL commands from the browser to interact with our SingleStore database. So we're going to create a brand new table called Cosmetic Shop, and we're going to set up all those data types of the CSV data that's stored in there. I forgot to download the CSV before we came here today, so we can't look at it. Just trust me, though, this is the data that's stored in it. Okay, great. Let's pop this up again to make sure we're good to go. Create table. I'm going to go to our cluster overview, database, cosmetic shop. Whoops. And databases. There we go. So we have one table in cosmetic shop now. Awesome. And we could see that too from our SQL editor. That's confirmed that's a successful event. Okay, so next thing. We have an empty shell of a table in our database. We need to create a pipeline, and a pipeline is what we use. It's what we call are these data ingestive pipelines, right? It's how we like can pipe data in real time. You can hook these up to Kafka connectors, whatever. We're hooking this up to an AWS S3 bucket. So if you're used to data warehousing or you want a cheap way to store your data, this works really, really well. Remember we talked about separating storage and compute? This is an example of what that means, right? We're separating out our storage in an AWS S3 bucket, and we're going to be importing it in real time. So We just set up all that data. And again, this is totally free and open. You can pull this data in real time if you want to do that too. But let's run this. And this isn't going to start importing that data yet. It just creates that connection for us. You can see we have a successful event. And this next one is actually going to start pulling that data in for us. So I'm just going to confirm nothing's in there yet. Databases. You can see here, no data is actually in there yet. And let's go back to our SQL editor. And let's start this pipeline. So I'm going to click run. Okay, so again, this is importing 20 million rows of data, which is huge. It's not going to be ready yet. It takes a second or two to pull it in, but it's still a lot of data. And I recommend, if you want to try this out, try importing 20 million rows of data. Try the same data set. Try importing it into whatever data set you're using at home, right? Whatever your native database, and see if it can go faster than SingleStore. I'm guaranteeing you it will not be able to. So in fact, if we want to test to see if it's in there, all we have to just do is just run a select star, see how many events are actually in there. And there we go. You can see here, we have all those events imported into our database. I'm going to go to our cluster overview again here too. And you can see our memory usage, but we have our disk usage on there, right? That's the data. We're saving it to disk. All right, next. So we got all our data now in our SingleStore bucket. Let's actually look at what that looks like in the table. So we're just going to do a select star. We're just going to collect. I just want to see the first 100 rows of data in that database now. And let's pop this open here. And you can see here we have these event times, event types, product IDs, category codes. Let's see, can I scroll? Nope. Oops. There we go. All these things we're saving right in there, right? So we can just user IDs, who's using it, how much it costs, what brand it is, all this stuff. So this is awesome data. We have timestamps. We can start doing some data analysis on this data that's saved in here. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to take a step back here and take a look at the chat. Oh, my sister's in here. Laurel, hello. And Chaza is asking, I'm looking at the chat here. So with a pipeline, is the data fetched from S3 each time and not stored in SingleStore? Good question. It is, in fact, now stored in SingleStore. So if we want to do data analysis, we can just pull it in. We can drop it. We can do whatever. Whatever you want. We can keep it stored in SingleStore forever. You can even choose with SingleStore if you want it saved in memory or like a hot database or cold to disk, right? Or both, right? But this example would be useful, especially for like an example like this. We're keeping track of legacy user events. You probably don't need this hot data all the time. We're only going to be running maybe data analysis on it periodically to get some data insights on it. This would be a good use case where we want to save this in S3 and then import it in, right? But so to answer the too long didn't read here is that it is stored in SingleStore right now. When we import it in, it is currently in SingleStore. That's how we're able to do this fast data analysis on it. Great question. Great question. Okay, let's see here. How do I make this smaller? I just want it to be like, there we go. I want to see both here. Okay, so we've started the pipeline. We got everything in there. We've seen the data that's been piped in. I'm going to skip this first one. But which one should we do first? Let's do find out which brands have been removed from the cart the most. So we're going to see, let's do some data analysis on this. Let's start making some insights. Maybe, product wants to know what's selling well, what's not, which ones need to drop, maybe which ones we need to buy more for next holiday season, whatever, right? But which items have been removed from the cart the most, right? So we want to see which brands. We want to count the number of brands, and we want to see which one has the most removed from cart events associated with it. So let's go ahead and run that. Oops, I gotta select this whole thing here. The cool thing is I can just put this whole SQL spreadsheet in here, and then just select, and then once you select it and press run, it only runs the SQL query on the part that you've selected. Okay. I think these are fake brands. I don't know. I'm not a makeup guy, so I don't know. Chat, you can let me know. I have no idea. But it looks like Renale. I think we're going to call that. Oh, that sounds like a nail company. Renail has 316,000 removed from cart events. That means people have added it and then removed it that many times. That's a lot. So maybe as a product manager, I want to start figuring out why that is or something. I don't know. I'm an engineer. I just get the numbers. I don't know how to interpret them. But that gives us some great results about like something's going on with these items that people are removing from the cart. Maybe we should investigate why that is. Okay, what about which brands have been purchased the most, right? So we're going to get a count of each brand. We're going to group by each brand. And by the number, we're going to sort by the number of events. We want to see who has the most purchase events. Who's closed the most. Interesting. So we got a no name. Interesting. That might be something we have to look into too. Why is there so many brands that are empty? Is their data not clean? You just have to throw those out. But interesting analysis too. We see that Renail is also the most purchased and most removed. So maybe that just means that there's just more activity going on there, and because more people are interested in this brand, they're also just, sheer numbers wise, they're also removing them the most, right? But you can also see here which ones are also the most popular. Okay, let's see here. What about remove from product ID, whatever. Let's just do one more, and then we'll call it a day here. Which categories have been purchased the most? I think categories is like makeup, nail polish. I think that's but let's see which ones, what types of what categories of products in our e-commerce store are most successful. But stationery, gloves, vacuums. Okay, we got lots of stuff in our e-commerce company, it looks like, which is useful. Yeah, super useful for us. The thing I want you to keep an eye on here too, again, we have 20 million rows of data saved into SingleStore now. This is running that data analysis in milliseconds in real time. I have some demos I've done of doing real-time machine learning on SingleStore data to pull through with those real-time events, which is super useful, right? We're just pulling those through in real time. That's super fast. That's like sub milliseconds it's pulling through. And it's even slower in the GUI, right? It's translating through the web to get these out here, but like that's super fast. I think it even shows us, yeah, it took 48 milliseconds for that to run. I did no indexing. You saw me, I just had a pipeline. I imported it raw, all that data into SingleStore, and with no further optimizations, which by the way, you totally could. We could totally do more to make this go faster. This is just out of the box. It's working this quickly. We're getting sub-second, we're getting milliseconds to pull these complex queries out of the hat, right? We can do things too. If you want to do explains, we can you can see whether it's doing like full table searches or whatever, which it's not doing today, right? Which is super helpful, but or column, yeah, scan. It's still going super fast though. You can see here 20.69 million rows it's pulling through. That's wild. That's so fast. You ever seen a table scan go that quick? That's wild. That's wild. And we can scale it up easily. No problem. Okay, cool. Should we do one more and then we'll call it a day here? If anyone has any questions too, let me know. Or I can go through the, what's the word? The little intro part again too, but we'll do a little wrap up here too. I may just talk about the future of databases a little bit. It's just my humble opinions I'm going to be giving here in just a moment, but okay, let's see here. This one takes a little bit longer, but I might still do it. Let's do some holiday analysis on here. So we're going to create a reference table that we're going to use for holidays, right? So I want to do some analysis on what types of what types of traffic are happening around the holidays. What days are so I just want to run. I inserted a bunch of holidays we care about in here. I want to make sure. Yep, there we go. We got our holidays all nice and set. So let's find out which holidays are the most active on our database, right? We want to see what are, what days we need to staff up for. Which ones are most useful? If you guys know anything about e-commerce sales, you probably know that the holiday shopping season is coming upon us rather quickly. And if we want to, like, you know, we probably want to get ready for the holiday season here. Okay, let's see here. Shaza asked another great question. I loving the questions here today, man. I love it. Apologies, I missed it. Are there any indexes set on this table or all default? There are no indexes set on this table. If you want to check out all the code that we ran here today, it is all in the GitHub repo, which I can post again in the chat here. But no index has been set on it. We just have, like, most databases by default will run an index on primary keys or the IDs or whatever, which I think is still the case here. I think if we do a, oh, I can't run that right now, it looks like. Then we could possibly check that out. Oh, we got some great questions here. Okay. May have mentioned this in the beginning, but if you're spinning up for the first time, is there any content includes an instructional on-code commands based on what insights you're trying to run? Instructional on-code commands based on what insights you're trying to run. Ooh, that's the hard part. Yeah, Ryan. Let's see here. So I think I'm not sure if I understand the question, but my read on the question is, like, if you're spinning up a SingleStore database for the first time and you load some data in it, is there any, like, in GUI help to help you make insights? Not that I'm aware of. I'm not even aware of products that exist that do that yet. I do think that that's the future of data, though. You have to, because usually to start getting insights, like helpful human insights like that, you have to start running machine learning models on that to start gathering insights. By default, we don't run machine learning models on your data to make insights for it. I mean, that's the reason why data science and data engineering degrees exist today, right? That's why we need data scientists to help pull insights from it. But it's still pretty easy to start pulling data insights. Actually, I'm going to post a link here. I just wrote an article about integrating with a product called MindsDB. And it allows us to use SingleStore data to do real-time machine learning with SingleStore. Let's see here. Is that blah, blah, blah. That is, there we go. Okay, I'm going to post this link into the chat. But if you want to start running machine learning models on your data to pull some insights, I recommend checking out that link. That'll be really useful. I'm going to post this on the chat here. It's a blog post called How to Add Real-Time Machine Learning Predictions to Your Data with MindCB. Let me show this on the screen here. But it allows you to use your SingleStore cluster and we can do predictive analysis based on your data and start pulling insights. We use some healthcare data, so you can do things like if you're overweight, are you more likely to be a smoker, or that sort of thing. But I mean, every data set's different, and the type of questions you want answered depends, like, on what problems you're trying to solve. If you want to talk ever about the specifics of how to get data and insights on your data, I mean, that's the hard part. I think that's honestly where the creativity part comes into play when you're doing data analysis, right? That's hard. That's a hard part. Okay, so let's see here. While we were answering questions, our holiday analysis wrapped up here. Unsurprisingly, the holiday with the most amount of events happening is Thanksgiving, right? Which kind of makes sense. I think, at least in the US, Black Friday is a big thing the day after Thanksgiving. So unsurprisingly, Thanksgiving is the day that we're seeing the most amount of traffic and events happening on our e-commerce site. I will say, surprisingly, Veterans Day has a surprising number of events happening. Are we running a sale on Veterans Day? I don't know. Maybe I should look into that. Why is Veterans Day the second biggest holiday that we're seeing event? Maybe it's just a fluke. Maybe just random, right? Also, kind of surprising. Christmas Day, not a lot of stuff happening on there. Maybe that makes sense. Everyone's done shopping. It's over. It's done, right? But there's still a surprising amount of events on there, but it's a lot less than Thanksgiving. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to wrap up here. I don't think I'm actually going to go into, I don't know how the internet works. Oh, yeah, I have a picture of our our CSV data there. Okay. All right. Is this I'm here to answer any questions you might have. But while we're wrapping up here today, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for coming. This has been a blast. My name has been Joe Karlsson. I'm a software engineer and developer advocate here at SingleStore. If you want to connect with me, if you had a blast or fun time hanging out with me at all today, awesome. I think you guys are amazing. Best way to do that is to hang out with me on Twitter. I'd also love to connect with you on LinkedIn. If anyone's here coming from LinkedIn, I want to apologize for technical snafus. I'm not getting this streamed out to LinkedIn. I'm gonna be looking into that immediately. Don't know what's going on with that, but thank you so much for your patience. We really appreciate that. We have a $500 free credit if you sign up for SingleStore today. It's a great way to play around and try some stuff out. You can try these demos out today too, and make sure that these, you're getting the same results that we had here today live on the stream. If you have any questions, reach out to me on the internet. I would love to answer any questions. But if you have anything else, I would love, the best way to do that is to get your questions answered on the SingleStore community. You go to bit.ly/forum_s2, or if you just go to singlestore.com/forum, I think it is, that'll take us to your community forums. The best way to get your questions answered. We can talk through schemas and data science and analysis and all that stuff, or any problems you run into. We'd love to help you. That's the best place to get your questions answered. Be sure to follow us online. We'd love to see you there. If you're on Twitter, best way to stay up to date with news and fun articles or whatever is on the SingleStore developer account. Also, we have free training, articles, blog posts. If you go to developer.singlestore.com, it's another great place to go to. Okay. And I think that is it. I'm going to check the chat one more time. You guys have been amazing. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.